listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by. On the morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Well, good morning, Sudbury. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you. I'm glad that you're with us this morning. It is Monday, February the 6th, 2023. I can't believe where the time is going. In about a month and a half, we'll be talking about possibly warmer weather and spring and the summer right around the corner, things like that. I can't believe it. It's remarkable. Anyways, we're coming at you live from CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio. We're also streaming at cklu.ca. If you go there, you just click on the Radio Player Canada app and you can stream us. You could also download the same Radio Player Canada app, take us with you anywhere, anytime, listen to us on your favorite device. And also social media. So we're on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Sudbury News, also youtube.com/Sudbury News. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment. And with that, comments are working this morning. So good morning, Claire. Hope you're having a good morning. It is cold. We'll get to the weather in just a moment. Cold currently. If you're outside, you already know that, or if you've been outside, or if you had to start your car or whatever. So whether you're listening to us on the radio, you're live streaming us, or you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, welcome. I hope you're having a good morning. We got a lot to cover on this show. There's more news on this show today than we've ever had on any other show in our almost year history in this format. And I'm going to do my best to get through it and also include all of your comments. Yes, hopefully, LOL. So let's do our best to get through the news and all of your comments and have a great conversation. This is your show on your station, Sudbury News Talk on CKLU 96.7 FM. Without further ado, we'll get right into the weather. We got some sports. We got tons and tons of headlines from this weekend. So you won't be disappointed. Lots to talk about. And we'll be right back after this. As usual, Sudbury weather brought to you by sudburyweather.ca. That's where you can find anything you need to find about weather on our Sudbury News website. So currently it is minus 18 degrees. Feels like minus 26. Going to refresh this just in case it's a little bit warmer since, it's colder. Okay, minus 19 feels like minus 22. I thought it would start warming up. But anyways, minus 19 feels like minus 22 out there. Mainly cloudy today. 30% chance of flurries this morning. Clearing this afternoon. The wind will be 15 kilometers. The high today will be minus 9. Wind chill. This morning, minus 24. And then this afternoon, minus 12. Tonight, increasing cloudiness. Wind will be a little bit gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour after midnight. Low of minus 11 with temperature rising to minus 5 by morning. Wind chill minus 16. But then tomorrow, snow ending near noon. Then cloudy with a 40% chance of rain. Can you imagine that? It's minus 25 pretty much out there with the wind chill right now. And then tomorrow, there's going to be snow overnight and it's going to end near noon, then cloudy with a 40% chance of rain, showers or drizzle tomorrow. Risk of freezing rain, drizzle in the morning, snowfall in the amount of 5 centimeters. So it's going to be very, very messy out there as you have 5 centimeters of snow with then freezing drizzle and rain possibly on top of that afterwards. Again, wind gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour. and high of +2 tomorrow. High of +2. Welcome to Sudbury in general, but Sudbury in the winter even less predictable. Wind chill -13 in the morning for tomorrow, and then it'll get a high of +2. And your forecast going forward, that's tomorrow, but then Wednesday, sunny and a high of 0. I'll believe that one when I see it, because that sounds very unbelievable. 0 and sunny on February the 8th. So I'll believe that one when I see it. But for now, that's what's forecast. Thursday, chance of flurries, 30% chance of flurries. High of -2, so starts to get a little bit cooler again. Friday, mix of sun and cloud, high of -7. Saturday, mix of sun and cloud, high of -8. And then Sunday, cloudy with high of -4. So after today and tonight, we're going from these very cold temperatures to +2 tomorrow, 0 on Wednesday, -2, -7, -8, -4 the next day. So very mild for this time of year. And we'll already be, by the end of this forecast, almost halfway through February, if you can believe that. So crazy weather, crazy times here. So do your best to prepare for anything and everything. Satellite, here it's what it looks like. A lot of clouds with a little strip of clearing that we usually have, north of us. And that's a look at your weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with sports, lots of sports to cover, and your headlines, which there's even more than we've ever had, like I said earlier. We'll be right back after this. All right, Sudbury Sports, brought to you by Randy Pascal. That's Sudbury Sports Guy's website, sudburysports.com. Everything Sudbury Sports, you can find it there. The Wolves were in action on Friday night. We have the score right up on the screen here, 4-0. What a great game that was. It was uneventful pretty much in the early goings, and then it began to be very, very chippy and rough, and a few good goals for the Wolves. Some really great plays. And it was pretty darn awesome. It was Mark Stahl jersey retirement night. So pretty incredible. He gave a speech. He was there with his family, including his wife, 3 children, and his parents were there. And they did the puck drop and everything. And it was really cool. It was emotional. He was emotional, obviously. And shared a lot of stories from, playing here and everything. And so what a great night. We came out with the shutout and 2 points in that game. Then we played on Sunday, yesterday. The turnout at the end of the game wasn't the greatest compared to the other games. So we lost in overtime. So out of those 2 games, for a possible 4 points, we got 3 points. So again, we're just on the cusp of, showing that we could make the playoffs this year, Sudbury Wolves, that is. And also the 5 were in action this weekend, but couldn't pull it together by the end and ended up falling to the Lightning 99-85 in that game. And the quote is, I think it was within grasp, but just didn't have the energy or the togetherness that we really needed to win the game. That's from SudburyStar.com. Now, what is their current, are they like 4-2 now? I think they're 4-2, but I could be wrong. I'm just going to skim here. They played on Saturday. Yeah, 4-2 record. The Sudbury 5. They're going to be playing here just around the corner. Not sure their next game here. Trying to see if they got. You should usually put that at the end of the story, but it's not there, and I apologize for that. There's just so many stories today. I tried to be as prepared as I could. I had an hour-long drive to work as well. Got up very extra early this morning. So go to Sudbury5.ca, Sudbury 5, the 5, I think it is, the 5.ca, and check out when they're going to be in town. It's right around the corner. It's February. I know that. So, and get your tickets for the game. Get out and support Sudbury Sports, and that is your Sudbury Sports Report brought to you by Randy Pascal, SudburySports.com. Randy Pascal is that Sudbury Sports guy, and we'll be back with headlines, so many to cover, and your comments right after this. Yes, and I don't even know where to start here. We're going to go through everything. We're going to hope that everything works out today in terms of the amount of headlines and things to cover for today. It's unbelievable. So, Sudbury residents enjoy a winter activity day at Bell Park. Scores of Sudbury families enjoyed the day this weekend. I believe it was on Saturday at Bell Park. Snow day. You know, Sudbury's never really had a winter kind of carnival or festival that's really, stuck around, like similar to Sault Ste. Marie, where Bon Sioux kind of, patterned after Carnival in Quebec with the Bonhomme there. They have their kind of Bon Sioux mascot. And I remember growing up, it was iconic. You could always expect really great events in the winter. It was like a whole week long of all kinds of things, and it was just surprising that Sudbury, for some reason, hasn't been able to do something similar like that. Have something that can take hold that everybody knows. Every year, you have this organized winter event that you can bring your families to. But here, maybe this will kick it off. Maybe this is the winter carnival that'll stick. And good morning, David. Yes. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for being with us, David, as you are every morning with us. We really appreciate that. So again, if you love your dog, put a leash on it, says Greater City of Sudbury. So here they're talking about if you don't have a leash on your dog and you're taking it for a walk, you want to make sure to do that because they could give you a fine of about $300 plus court costs. Sudbury residents are reminded that all dogs are required to be on a leash and under owner's control when leaving their property. Owners of dogs who are found on off-leash on public property will face a provincial offense notice, and that is about $300. So make sure to put your dog on a leash and clean up after them is what I would suggest anyways. Extreme cold in the forecast recently, and we talked about how it's going to get a lot milder. But there was a lot of warnings over the weekend, and advisories. So we're going from one extreme to the other. It's pretty crazy weather out there. And good morning, Jennifer. Thanks for being with us this morning. Love all the emoticons, the emojis after good morning. It's awesome. Here's one that I don't know, because there's so much to talk about. It was on CBC this morning that they're going ahead with the Junction East. They're chomping at the bit to go ahead with Junction East project, the new library downtown. They said the estimated cost was 98 point something million. And good morning, Monique. Good morning. So Laking Group donates to Art Gallery of Sudbury's capital campaign. So I guess we're getting some donations too, along with Sudbury paying for it. Here's the artist rendition of what the facility could look like. Sudbury's Art Gallery just received a major boost thanks to $150,000 donation from the Laking Group of companies here in Sudbury. The money will go to the Art Gallery of Sudbury's capital campaign and it's part of the move into yet-to-build Junction East on Shaughnessy Street. We believe, this is a statement from Chris and Debbie Laking of the Laking Group of Companies. They said in a joint statement, we believe that the Art Gallery of Sudbury plays an important cultural role in our community. Without a modern interactive art gallery, we feel that we lose part of our identity. The Art Gallery of Sudbury will provide a platform for individuals of all ages to express themselves in various mediums. Our new gallery will provide us with an opportunity to attract exhibits from all over the world. The Laking Group of Companies believes that supporting this existing venture will attract tourism. In recognition of this gift, the Family Art Studio in the gallery's new premises on Junction East on Shaughnessy Street will be known as the Laking Group of Companies Family Art Studio. The Art Gallery of Sudbury, along with the new Central Library of Sudbury Public Library and the Sudbury Multicultural and Folk Arts Association, has partnered with the City of Greater Sudbury to build a new state-of-the-art arts and cultural hub in downtown Sudbury. City Council approved Junction East in June of 2022, and it's expected to open its doors in 2025. And however, they never turned it down because of the inflated cost. It doubled in cost for the budget, but they didn't turn that down as they did the new arena for the same reason. By a vote of 11-2, the previous council approved the $98.5 million budget for the Junction East complex. I wonder if it's going to come in over that when it's actually built, or with newer estimates. I wonder if it's going to be more than $98.5 million. I would say my guess is yes. So, Jennifer, always so much to talk about. Yeah, and there's no difference this morning. Yes, good morning, Jennifer. Oh, you got everyone saying good morning to each other here, so that's great. Feeling the love on Sudbury News Talk in the morning. It is a place to gather and have a conversation about our community. The Art Gallery of Sudbury is currently located at the Old Bell Mansion on John Street, so they're definitely going to get a huge upgrade with this new $100 million facility. There's no doubt about that. So on behalf of the Art Gallery, they want to thank Laking Group of Companies for their exceptionally generous gift. That's Paula Gouvier of the Art Gallery of Sudbury's Board of Directors. We are honored by the support that they have shown for the Art Gallery and for the arts and culture in our community. Yeah, so how many cultural centers do we have downtown or now? So I guess there's an argument to be made for it. You know, if you're doing well, you got good roads, you got good infrastructure, you have you're balancing the budget every year, you know, and you want to kind of showcase yourself and showcase how well everything's going, then a $100 million art gallery is probably the way to go. My question is, have we achieved that first, though? Such a ridiculous amount of money, my opinion. So that's Jen. Yeah, and that's what we're entitled to as citizens. I mean, it is your money. It is your new edifice that will be made. Andrew in the comment section says, another art gallery downtown, just what the city needs. And just to make sure we know the context here, there's a bunch of laughing emojis immediately following it. Someone put a little meme of money just flying away. More lost parking is what Andy says. And then total waste of taxpayers' money, Michael. So out of the 4 kind of comments here, which isn't an incredible amount, and the comments just right here on our show, 5 comments, all 5 not in favor. But for some reason, they're fast tracking this. There are more people in favor of the arena than there are of this art gallery. They shut down the art gallery, and they're going ahead with. They shut down the arena, and they're going ahead with the art gallery. So is council really following their voting constituents? Not sure. Doesn't look like it. So here, I guess this is something that they've definitely done away with for the art gallery. And are they going to be able to do this for other projects, including business, to let the economy of Sudbury continue to grow? Red tape threatens to strangle Greater Sudbury, City Councillor says. Mike Parent from the Valley, taking over for Kerwin in his role. Red tape threatens to strangle Greater Sudbury, City Councillor says. Ward 5 Councillor Mike Parent to ask for a report to identify ways Greater Sudbury can make it easier for businesses to operate. Amen, brother. As a business owner myself, and as someone who represented small businesses for a couple of years for the Canadian Federation of Independent Business in Sudbury, red tape is a huge issue for Sudbury. Canada in general is a hard place to do business. Ontario within Canada is even harder. And then Sudbury within Canada, within Ontario, is even harder than that. And Sudbury has been rumored to be, and possibly correctly rumored, to be the hardest city in Canada to do business in due to this red tape. Addressing red tape at City Hall was a regular topic of debate during the election campaign last fall, and now Ward 5 Councillor Mike Parent is looking for a plan of action. That's great. I like a man who sticks by his platform after being elected. Claire says she wishes there was more help for the homeless, and it is more important, possibly more than the capital projects, these legacy capital projects, including the library/art gallery. So at next week's council meeting, this was shared over the weekend, Parent will introduce a motion aimed at learning more about red tape hampers, how it hampers business, and why the city should consider taking urgent action. So Parent told the Sudbury Star this was a commitment he made during his campaign, given what he heard from a number of business owners. Exactly. So again, going to the very people that it is affecting and finding out from the horse's mouth, correct? And then trying to represent the horse's mouth. And you become the horse's mouth. In council, you represent those that voted for you, is the way it usually should work. Not, okay, now that I'm voted in, I'm going to listen to all kinds of other, the less people with more power is what usually happens, right? So the majority are supposed to have the power, but the majority end up, through their representatives, listening to the minority with more power and do what they want rather than what the majority with less power wants. And then you're supposed to give them that power by representing them. So hopefully we can go ahead and represent our community, and Parent looks like so far he's going to be doing that. So he's went out and found out what businesses want. They want less red tape. Surprise, surprise. Also, our newly elected mayor has a vision of growth for our city that he shares and wants to accelerate this growth in our city. The city needs to be perceived as open for business in order to accomplish this, and a preferred city to start to grow a business in. Yes, that is true. Mayor Paul V made campaign promises to grow Greater Sudbury's population to 200,000 over 20 years. Well, it's about 170 now-ish, 171-ish. Stats Can, for some reason, I question a lot of their population stats. It says we're like 165 or 167. It's up over 170 now. An increase of more than 30,000 new residents. While he has yet to outline the way forward, he told the Star, which is kind of similar to the politics that he is used to in federal. You just kind of say you're going to do something, and there's no real plan to come out with it, but he intends to do it, which is great. He told the Star last year he'll make his plan public in early 2023. So he said early 2023 he's going to make his plan public. We're at February 6th now. So early 2023. When does that end? In December 31st, 2023? I'm not sure. As you can see, I'm a little bit pessimistic when it comes to campaign promises. The motion parent plans to introduce directs Ed Archer, the CAO, to collaborate and engage with the Greater Sudbury Chamber of Commerce to prepare a report to be prepared to council by end of May. I would also say if you're listening, Councillor Parent, also consult the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. Just do a little deep dive into who they are and what they're all about. And I would include them with the Chamber of Commerce in establishing a report. I would hope that you could do this. If you don't include them, again, you're just not including a wealth of knowledge to do with business in general, small business, and the economy. That's what they do. The Chamber of Commerce is one organization that does something similar. However, they don't just include small business. They include the school board and, just other things that aren't really, to do with the backbone of the economy. So I would just encourage that. I'm done with that now. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Diane. Bon matin. Pierre Poilievre said he would stop much of the red tape if he were elected, and that is true. That is a conservative platform. It's been the conservative platform ever since there's been a tape in the color of red. Conservatives want less government is what the platform are. Now, they don't seem to really do that when they get in. They don't downsize too much government. It's pretty much always growing. However, the ideology of conservatism is to have less government, less regulations, less problems getting in the way of letting you do your thing. If you got an idea, let's get that idea going. Let's get it into action. Let's get it out there. Let's get it. Don't hamper it. Now, government a lot of times steps in and goes, yeah, but you need a helmet, but you need gloves, but you need to be safe, but you need this, but you need budget. And then eventually there's so many budgets, you don't even have a business anymore. You didn't get that thing off the ground. Oh, but when you do get it off the ground, they definitely want their share. No doubt about it. And then some. So if you hear conservatives a lot of times saying we want to tax less to the businesses, that's because there's taxes collected all over the place. 25% of your paycheck is taken. Employers have to pay another 25% to the government already just on wages alone. So then they come after profits too. The less they come after businesses and just let them be, the more the economy grows. And the more the government stays out of that, the better it is. Just is what it is. You can have a different ideology and you're welcome to that. I just know through experience as a business owner, as someone who's represented business, someone who taught business, believe me. Okay, good morning, Len. Happy to have you with us. And, from the Philippines. Yes, thank you so much for you've been with us quite a while now. I hope you're doing well in the Philippines. Hope the weather is probably warmer than here. Pierre Poilievre for Prime Minister, Jennifer says, yes. Leave the people alone. Thank you. Nothing worse than a micromanager hovering over you all the time. Helicopter parent, micromanager. And if the government becomes a helicopter parent, I mean, it's two wrongs. Never make a right. Enough is enough, Monique says. Well said. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And let's do this thing. Jennifer, taxes are getting absolutely ridiculous. And that is true. In Canada, I don't know about the Philippines. I know there's pros and cons in every country, in every government. And I do know we enjoy a lot of freedoms in our country, and we need to celebrate those freedoms a lot too, right? And be thankful for them, and be aware when they're being kind of hacked at and looked at being taken away, because once you lose them, He ain't getting them back. Now, this is what Tucker Carlson was kind of talking about last week, and we had a member of Parliament, NDP, stand up and want to denounce him publicly for his statements to basically call on the United States because they're so worried about countries and liberating them all the time. Why don't we go liberate Canada? He said, tongue in cheek. He wasn't meaning it. However, he did mean that Canada is kind of going into a more totalitarian type of government, and he just takes what happened during the protests last year in January in Ottawa and the rest of the country and how the government handled that as totalitarian kind of ways of being, ways of treating your citizens. And so he said, with that, let's liberate Canada. And then he also shared the member of Parliament kind of denouncing it publicly, and then he laughed at that in his next show, and he said, I was kidding. I mean, we don't need to go and do that. You can get a couple of your neighbors to just grab a couple teams of dog sleds and come and do it anyways. It's not going to be hard to overthrow the Canadian government. Again, tongue in cheek and joking. It's just all in fun. However, when humor sometimes has truth in it as well, right? So I could really appreciate that. It was rather funny. And Jennifer says she loves Tucker. And I know he was one of our viewers, Miles actually, thought that he might have shown that he was racist in some way, shape, or form. However, he's probably the journalist I appreciate the most out there, American journalist anyways, and how he's able to bring light to a lot of issues. And he doesn't seem afraid of pharmaceutical companies, governments. Usually people are afraid to speak their mind because they're afraid of losing their jobs or whatever. But I just find that it's refreshing to just hear the truth sometimes. He's got about 98% truth on his show. The odd time there's a thing or two here that I question. I find Fox News is about 85% true. They got about 15% spin and stuff in there, which I'm aware of. And then you got your other news. I'll just clump all the other ones, mainstream anyways, news as about 45% true and about 65% spin and just ideology and crap. Yes, Tucker Carlson is outspoken for sure. Bill C-11 coming soon to a theater near you. Yes, that's going to be very scary. We need to be aware of that. It's going to affect our freedom of speech through the media, and my show might not continue. It's already questioned by some people if we just by mentioning the name Tucker Carlson. I mean, people would come up to me and go, "Oh, you don't watch him?" Like, okay, have you watched him? No, I don't watch him. No, I heard from CNN that he's a white supremacist. Oh, okay. Maybe you should just watch him first and then make that decision. Maybe you should read. Maybe you should watch. Maybe you should study. Maybe you should find out for yourself. And that's all that we're trying to encourage. And that's why we welcome comments from everyone here. And I really like to think I went to school with the intent of wanting to be part of media, wanting to be someone who could call out someone if they were trying to share the big buzzword these days, misinformation to other people, and try and be a little bit of accountable. And I find he does a great job doing that. Okay, so does C-11 affect immigrant workers? Yeah, I don't think so. No mainstream media for me, Jennifer says, and love my live people. For sure. Does tax increase affect immigrants? I think yes. If they're just paying taxes, for sure. Yep. Claire says, yeah, she agrees. Tucker is good. You know what's funny? When you get your cable package, often just look at what cable is included in your kind of just basic cable. CNN is included in it, but Fox News isn't. That should just tell you something. And if you go to subscribe to Fox Nation, it says it's not available in your country. So it's not available in Canada. They don't want you kind of getting that kind of news for some strange reason. Not sure. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, Jennifer, I appreciate that. And it's a passion that I have. And I just want to say thank you again for Lem from the Philippines, just, coming on board and chiming in. And I hope that, the news that we present here, even though we're talking about a city in a province in a country that's not, it's very distant from yours, that there's still stuff that you can take away and that's beneficial, for everyone who's watching. We do have a science center here in Sudbury, and we had a dinosaur exhibit. I think it's still here. So dinosaur is returning to Sudbury with a vengeance. Watch out, he's going to bite. Science North and Dynamic Earth to host exhibits starting February 18th. So if you like dinosaurs, good for the kiddies. Get out there and enjoy dinosaurs. Now, we reported this story. Again, I'm going through this because there's lots to cover today. Be aware of the time. Yeah, we're getting there. Noelville man dies from following the January 16th school bus collision. Remember we talked about that? There was an accident with a school bus, and there was someone who was injured there. Well, unfortunately, this particular man from Noelville died as a result of his injuries. So our condolences go out to him, to his family, to all of those who were affected by that incident and his death. Sad news. Now, Sudbury Group. Now, this is, again, something that's in the news here in Sudbury, but affects everyone worldwide. Sudbury Groups raise awareness about human trafficking. Frontline workers across Northern Ontario attended a conference Friday raising awareness about human trafficking. A lot of people in that room talking about it. I'm glad that we're doing it. I'm glad that we're shedding light on it. I would hope that we can do something about it. I am skeptical, though, because we have an opioid crisis going on in this city. We've had it for quite a while. It seems to be getting worse, even though we're trying to do things about it. We have a homeless crisis in Sudbury. We seem to be doing things about it. However, it seems to be getting worse. And we have human trafficking, and we're doing something about it. We want to do something about it. Could it get worse as well? It just seems like, how come we're not getting better at doing a better job at things that are terrible in our society? I don't understand it. Like, drugs are illegal, right? Like, they're illegal. Like, we have law enforcement that's out there arresting people and trying to enforce illegal drugs, and arresting people that are in possession of them and want to sell them. But they still keep showing up for some reason. Someone needs to turn off the tap somewhere. But the tap seems to be someone on purpose keeping it open. And I think human trafficking, there's a lot of money there. I put it in the same category as drugs. I think a lot of the same people involved with the drug distribution of drugs are probably, I'm just going out on a limb here, saying there's probably an income stream from human trafficking as well. So AI is getting, all is getting bad around the world. And it's since the last election. I wonder why. Okay. It could be due to the election. I mean, how long has this government been in power now? I mean, are things getting better? Are they accountable for anything? I mean, are governments there to kind of make policies that are going to enhance our lives and make them better? I don't know. Are they in it for themselves? Or are they in it for the people? We got to ask these questions, right? Things have to hit rock bottom before they can get better, it seems. Let's hope they change and happen soon. Yes, we need change. Sometimes something has to give. It's unreal, for sure. That's Jennifer. WEF, the World Economic Forum, is involved in all of our lives now, and that should worry us in this. I agree with that. We need a treatment center, not a safe injection center. That is Monique, for sure. Agree. Now, again, I don't just want this to be an echo chamber of people that are all, if you don't agree with what's being said, I would even more encourage you to comment, because, again, if it's just me and I'm thinking this is what Sudburyans are thinking, they all agree with what we're saying on this show. I mean, that could be dangerous if there's only a little pocket of people in an echo chamber just saying the same things, right? So we want to make sure that we are not doing that, so we can get a good idea of what's what people are thinking in this city. But again, human trafficking, huge worldwide problem. It's come to Sudbury, and it's come to Sudbury in a big way. And there's many things we need to address. But is it coming top down? Is enough being done top down? Is it like the drug problem where it could be stopped at the borders? It could be stopped internationally. It could be stopped by our army, our government, our police. The tap can be shut off. I know that. We have the resources to do this. But for some reason, there's people, I think, who are benefiting too much. It's too lucrative. And the tap just keeps being opened more and more. Yes, I'd love to hear the other side, for sure. Me too. Me too. Find areas are still asleep. Me too. Find areas are still asleep. And that's Claire. So anyways, yeah, we got lots to worry about in that. Let's see if we got everything down there. Let's go back up to the top now. Start top down, and we might even get through these. Oh my, if we get through them, it's a miracle. Miracle. Okay. This is interesting. I should have started the whole show with this. A 70-year-old grandmother from Sudbury and super fan of Harry Styles was invited to the Grammys to announce him as the winner of Album of the Year. So if you watch the Grammys, which I don't, never have for many years, but that's pretty interesting and pretty exciting. So it's not every day, and a 78-year-old grandmother from Sudbury is a super fan of Harry Styles. I just think that's interesting in and of itself, and more interesting that she was invited to present the award to announce him as the winner of Album of the Year. Apparently everyone was expecting Beyonce to get it, which now Beyonce, apparently I just read it today, which I don't normally even care about that kind of news, is the most decorated Grammy winner of all time. Surprise, surprise, Beyonce. I do like one of her songs. I got to admit that. It's got a lot of groove to it. So congratulations to you for presenting that to Harry Styles and announcing that. What a huge kind of cool moment that is, even though I don't really watch the Grammys anymore or whatever. I just think that's a really cool thing. Now, a teen in hospital following a stabbing in Sudbury. A Sudbury area teen is recovering in hospital. This has nothing to do with the other stories we covered with the gentleman wielding his knife the other day, stabbing buildings downtown under the influence, or the other story of a teen altercation where a 16-year-old stabbed another 16-year-old. This is an entirely separate incident altogether. A Sudbury area teen is recovering in a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries after an incident in Coniston on Saturday. I hope the sound doesn't come, and it's only a video, so they have no text on that story. So I'm honoring a conversation I had with the news director of CTV Northern Ontario, where she contacted me just saying, hey, these are our videos. You want to look at our stories and read segments of our stories on your show, you're perfectly welcome to do that. However, we pay our journalists to do these stories, videos, and we have them on our website. And I said, no problem. I said, even though I think that's a gray area and I think I'm just promoting your news on our show, and we don't take it out of context, and we're not saying your journalists are wrong or anything like that. We're just sharing the story. I will respect the fact that we don't really know how to proceed here. I'll stop sharing the videos and we'll wait to hear from head office. So I'm giving it a month because I think a month is a long enough time to hear from head office. And then maybe I'll, if there's a story that I think is going to benefit the conversation, promote CTV Northern Ontario News and the hard work their journalists do in this great community supporting local journalism, I'll just share the odd story and I won't go overboard. I'll still be respectful for that. So anyways, can't give you any more information on the teen who is in hospital. However, that does bring up the idea, though, of what are we going to do about knives, because people are stabbing each other with knives, and they are being used as deadly weapons. So should we start looking at banning particular kinds of knives and other things out there that are used to harm people fatally, right? Because many things can be used to do that. And as we see, the government wants to ban many, many guns because that's one thing you can use a gun for. Why aren't we having the discussion of banning anything that can be used to fatally harm another individual? Honestly, like, that would be a normal, natural question, right? Okay, so Jennifer says, what? No. Teach your darn kids not to do that. Come on. Yeah, exactly. Don't stab other people with knives. That wouldn't be good. Did you get to the news balloon from China yet? Yeah, I was just getting there, but because it's kind of rolling off about this knife thing and banning things like guns, I just wanted to look at this withdrawal of gun ban amendments, humiliating climb down for liberals, says Pierre Poilievre. Remember how they just kind of squeezed in a bunch of guns into this bill that was supposed to be for getting rid of handguns? Yeah, such as assault-style knives. Exactly, Erica. Yeah, guns are knives that are meant to kill people. I have no problem banning that from the general public-ish. But even then, like, teach your kids not to stab people. I think this is just a showing of how our society is breaking down. And by design, mind you, it's breaking down by design. And because of certain policies and things that have been kind of creeping into our societies, there is a breakdown of our society, and we're seeing more and more violence and more people being upset and then using tools to harm other individuals because they're mad at something or on drugs or don't have a mom or a dad anymore or whatever, or don't know who they are, don't know their own sex, don't have an idea of their place in this world, and will just be upset, and looks like we're harming each other, whether it's with a gun, a knife, a hammer, you name it. It's just a reflection of our society. So headline here, withdrawal of gun ban amendments, humiliating climb down for liberals, says Poilievre. The sweeping amendments would have outlawed currently legal rifles used daily by hunters and sport shooters. Two contentious amendments to Liberal government's controversial gun control legislation have been withdrawn, a move the opposition called humiliating climb down for the Prime Minister. Gathering for the first time since their previous meeting was adjourned in progress in mid-December, the House Standing Committee on Public Safety and National Security heard from an MP who announced the government's intentions to withdraw amendments G4 and G46. So they said, in relation to a clause-by-clause consideration, Bill C-21, an act to amend certain acts and to make certain consequential amendments, Amendment G4, currently under consideration by the committee, be deemed withdrawn. And that Amendment G46, which has not been moved, be deemed withdrawn as well from the package amendments, he said. It's not our intention, as noted, to move on G46. The Liberal MP and committee member Paul Chang tabled the contentious amendments in November, sweeping changes that would have outlawed current legal rifles used daily by hunters and sport shooters. I wonder why they wanted to ban those guns. Doesn't look like they're being used in too many urban crimes these days, and that is why they wanted to start banning handguns in particular. And so I wonder how those crept into the bill last minute. Anyways, to begin with, that should be questioned. Amendment G4 aims to expand the list of prohibited guns by including its definition to ban rifles and shotguns capable of discharging center-5 ammunition in a semi-automatic manner. And that is designed to accept detachable cartridges and magazines with a capacity greater than 5 cartridges of the type of which the firearms was originally designed. So if you're able to alter your gun in any way to make it illegal, they want to ban it. But I'll just put it out there. Put it out there right now. If you're if you have a legal gun, you're a law-abiding citizen, why would you then choose to break the law and put a magazine with more than 5 rounds in it if it was illegal? Doesn't make sense, right? So the only people that would do that are people that don't care about the law to begin with and are going to use that for a nefarious purpose to which they can get those anyways, and it doesn't matter if they're banned. Correct or not? Right? So why would you ban? You just have to ban everything. Why not just ban air? Ban everything, because you can use anything for something bad. You can put something bad in the air. And that's what happened locally in Sudbury. So anyways, so where to segue from here? The China balloon. Yeah. So this Chinese balloon was going over Canada and into the States. And all of a sudden, someone in Montana noticed it. And it was just a guy flying in his plane, and he reported this balloon. And lo and behold, it's a Chinese spy balloon over Montana. But previous to that, then Canada goes, oh, yeah. Yeah, that just came through Canada's airspace. Yeah, that one. Yeah, we saw that. So I wonder what. So Canada just knows. And it wasn't the first one. They've then since said that there's been many Chinese spy balloons over Canada and the U.S. known to the military. And they just didn't tell anyone about it and just didn't do anything about it until a civilian found out and saw it and reported it. And now they knew it. They let it go over the whole United States, do its thing. And then they shot it down over the waters just off the coast of North Carolina. So the Canadian defense minister says Canada supports the U.S. in downing the Chinese balloon. Very harsh statement from Canada's defense minister. The federal defense minister says Canada unequivocally supports the United States government's decision to shoot down a high-altitude surveillance balloon that was suspected of spying for China, noting the balloon violated Canadian airspace. Why didn't we shoot it down? No, we just let it be. It crossed Canada and we did nothing, Ivan says. That's the one of 2 comments on our feed here. If there's another comment, it's not showing it. So let's see, 2 comments. No, it does not want to show the other comment for some reason. Or let's see if it does. No, it doesn't want to show it to us. There are 2 comments, but I guess I can't even see the comments on my own Facebook page. So, China says it strongly opposes the U.S. move to shoot down the balloon. China's foreign minister said on Sunday that it expressed strong dissatisfaction and opposition towards the United States' use of force to attack its airship. Dems fighting words, apparently. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. There's a lot of comments coming in here. I won't be able to get to them, but as we are closing out. I'll share them on the screen for everyone and just thank you all for participating today. There's lots to talk about. Like I said, we never got to about 5 of the stories. I tried. I did my best. But if you want all the stories that we didn't get to, just visit Sudbury News' Facebook page, and they're all there. I encourage everyone to go on there. And make sure to like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff to make sure the conversation to get to as many people as possible. And we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU. Stay safe and warm, everyone. Ciao.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.